The story begins with a young couple, Matt and Nadia, who are tired of the noise and chaos of city life. They decide to buy a cheap but beautiful house located in a remote and isolated area. When they arrive, they discover that the house is very old and in poor condition, as if it has been abandoned for many years. The two begin cleaning the house. While cleaning, Nadia finds a dead bird in the kitchen. She takes it outside to bury it, but when she looks back a few moments later, the bird has mysteriously disappeared. Meanwhile, Matt discovers a hidden door behind a wall. After searching for a while, he finally finds the key. As soon as he unlocks the door, he sees a dark and mysterious room inside. The moment Matt and Nadia enter the room, the lights in the house begin flickering strangely. The next day, they call an electrician. After inspecting the basement, he is shocked to find it filled with old electrical wiring. Before leaving, he tells Matt that the previous owner of the house and his wife were murdered by their own son. After that incident, no one ever dared to live in the house again. Curious, Matt starts researching the story online. He learns that the killer's name was John, and that he told the police he had not committed the murders by his own choice, but because the house had influenced him. Matt dismisses the story as superstition. One night, he sits alone in the mysterious room drinking alcohol. After finishing his bottle, he casually wishes for another one. Suddenly, the lights flicker, and when they come back on, a brand new bottle appears in front of him. Matt is stunned. After examining it closely, he realizes it is real and not some illusion. He finally understands that the room has the power to grant wishes. The next morning, he shows everything to Nadia. As a test, she wishes for $1,000, and it immediately appears. Then she wishes for $1 million, and that appears as well. Now both of them are convinced that the room can fulfill any desire. Soon they begin asking for expensive clothes, gold, diamonds, valuable paintings, delicious food, and endless wealth. Within days, they are living like some of the richest people in the world, but there is one wish they desire more than money. They want a child. Nadia had previously lost 2 babies, which left her terrified of becoming a mother again. One day, overcome with emotion, she enters the secret room and wishes for a child. To her amazement, a young boy suddenly appears. When Matt comes home and sees the child, he becomes furious. He believes it was a dangerous decision. The couple argues, but when they hold the child in their arms, neither of them can bring themselves to send him away. Eventually, they decide to raise him as their own son. As time passes, Matt continues to feel uneasy about the boy. Determined to learn more, he investigates further and discovers that John is still alive and living in a psychiatric hospital. Matt goes to visit him. The moment John sees him, he says, "I've been waiting for you." Matt is shocked and begins asking questions about the mysterious room. John warns him that the room never gives anything for free. Every wish comes with a price. Matt does not pay much attention to the warning and returns home. However, on his way back, he discovers something strange. The money he received from the room turns into ashes the moment it leaves the house. Back at home, he performs more experiments and learns that everything created by the room can exist only inside the house. As soon as any object is taken outside, it either disappears or turns into ash. This revelation deeply troubles Matt, but the real horror has not even begun yet, because the child they believed would bring them happiness was not an ordinary child at all. As time passes, Matt and Nadia begin raising the child as their own son. Nadia loves him deeply, but Matt still feels an uneasy fear in his heart. One day, Nadia takes the child outside the house, but as soon as he steps outdoors, he starts crying uncontrollably, and his appearance begins to change. Matt quickly carries him back inside. To their shock, the baby who had been an infant only seconds earlier has now become an 8-year-old boy. Matt finally tells Nadia the truth. Nothing created by the room can exist outside the house. If it leaves the property, it either disappears or starts reverting to its original state. This means their son was also a creation of the room. Although Nadia is disturbed by this revelation, she continues to love and raise the boy as her real child. She names him Shane. Shane is not like other children. He has strange habits, often eating ice, and his thoughts seem far more mature than his age. Since he is never allowed to leave the house, he spends much of his time staring out of the windows, longing for the outside world. One night, Shane secretly makes his way into the basement and finally discovers the secret of the mysterious room. The next morning, Matt and Nadia are astonished to learn that Shane has used the room's power to create an entirely new world. It contains open fields, forests, and a vast sky where he can run and play freely. Nadia is delighted to see her son happy, but Matt becomes even more frightened. He fears that one wrong wish from Shane could lead to disaster. Around this time, Matt receives another call from John. John reveals a terrifying truth. "I was created by the room too," he says. John explains that when he wanted to enter the outside world, the room told him that if he truly wished to be free, he would have to kill the person who had wished him into existence. That is why he murdered his parents. Nadia secretly overhears this conversation and is devastated. She realizes that one day Shane might become a threat to them as well. Meanwhile, Shane gradually begins to understand the truth about himself. One night, he sees Matt and Nadia together and starts developing strange feelings toward Nadia. This marks the beginning of a dangerous change within him. One day, Shane secretly leaves the house. When Matt and Nadia find him, they are shocked to discover that he is transformed into a powerful adult young man. Soon, a fierce battle breaks out between Matt and Shane. During the fight, Nadia is injured and loses consciousness. When she wakes up, Matt tells her that Shane is dead. But then the story delivers its biggest twist. The person standing beside Nadia is not the real Matt. It is Shane, who has used the room's power to transform himself into Matt's appearance. Meanwhile, the real Matt is still alive and desperately searching for his wife. Before long, Nadia begins to suspect something is wrong. Eventually, Shane's old habit of eating ice reveals the truth to her. By this point, the real Matt manages to enter the new world Shane created inside the room, where Shane has built an exact copy of their house. There, Shane is trying to keep Nadia with him forever. A final and deadly confrontation begins between Matt and Shane. At last, Matt comes up with a clever plan. He makes a wish that allows him and Nadia to return to their real bodies while their copies remain behind. The plan succeeds. The real Matt and Nadia attempt to escape, while Shane chases after them in a rage. When they reach the original house, Matt deliberately grabs Shane and drags him outside. Shane knows that if he remains outside for too long, he will not survive. He desperately tries to get back inside, but this time Nadia locks the door. Crying, Shane calls her mom and begs her to let him in. Tears fill Nadia's eyes because she truly considered him her son, but she knows that opening the door would destroy everything. Moments later, Shane begins aging rapidly. His body starts decaying, and eventually he turns completely into ashes. Nadia gathers his ashes in her hands and breaks down in tears. In the end, Matt and Nadia leave the cursed house behind and move into a small new home where they finally begin living a peaceful life. A few months later, Nadia takes a pregnancy test. This time, the result is positive. At last, they are going to have a real child of their own. And with that hopeful moment, this dark and mysterious story comes to an end.